Are there ways of increasing alpha brainwaves that are dangerous? Hello, I'm Dr. Jim Hardt, president and founder of the Biocybernaut Institute here in Sedona, Arizona, and we also have a training center in Bavaria, Germany. A lot of hype has come forth about increasing alpha. And in the biohacking community, a lot of people are looking for a quick fix, a do-it-to-me kind of thing. And so you can look at flashing lights, and that'll produce, in some cases, epileptic seizures, but in some people, it'll produce standing waves in the alpha frequency. Or some people like to use binaural beats, or you put 300 hertz tone in this ear and a 300 hertz 10 in that ear, and it gives you a standing wave on the surface of the brain. In some people, it doesn't work for everyone, of 10 hertz, which is alpha. Even more dangerous is putting electrical currents in the brain and like forcing it to be at a certain frequency. Well, to understand why this is so dangerous, let's look at the continental divide between do-it-to-you technologies and learning technologies. And to understand, we need to know, where does alpha come from? It turns out deep within the brain, there's a structure called the thalamus. It has a left half and a right half. Each of these halves of the thalamus contain pacemaker cells that make alpha. 60,000 to 80,000 pacemaker cells in each half of the thalamus. And they project along thalamocortical fibers to cortical columns terminating between layers 3 and 4. And then the alpha waves leak through the 3 layers, leak through the dura, membrane around the brain, leak through the skull and the scalp, and then you can pick up alpha waves. Well, the source of alpha is in the thalamus. The symptom of that is alpha at the brain. And if you just come in and shake the surface, you're not affecting the deep generator of alpha. It's like you want to build a muscle. So you take a weight and you do that. But what if you strap your arm into a machine and it moves your arm back and forth? You're not going to build any muscles. And so I caution against do-it-to-you technologies, and I highly endorse learning methods. All learning requires feedback. And so at one point, when I published a paper in 1997 documenting that the 7 days of the Alpha 1 training allows people to produce, in those 7 days, the exact same brainwave changes as are seen in advanced Zen, which is a minimum of 21 years of daily practice in Japan, I was invited by the director of the San Francisco Zen Center to speak about this. So I went. They gave me a tour. There's a statue of Suzuki Roshi there, who founded it, and interestingly, he had a halo. There are brainwave patterns for halos. We can talk about that at another time. And then we had a formal tea ceremony. And then the leader with the assembled group says, now, we don't understand how you can produce the same results in 7 days that we take 21 to 40 years to produce. And the reason we don't understand it is because we know you need to accumulate experience. And I go, yes, that's exactly right. That's the reason. And now let's talk about accumulating experience. I had been doing yoga meditation. I was initiated by one of Yogananda's direct disciples into Kriya Yoga. And so I had a house in San Francisco on a steep hill. I terraced it, brought in blueberries, early, mid-season, late blueberries, planted them. The next morning I came out and all my blueberries were ripped out of the ground and chewed up into little pieces, old bushes. Muddy dog tracks went up my neighbor's back steps. So I gathered a few of the twigs, went up the stairs, humbly knocked on the door, and the young doctor living there, I said, look what your dog did to my blueberry bush. And he yelled at me. He said, don't you say anything bad about our dog. It's a good dog, and it's your fault. You should have had a fence. And whew, okay. So that night, I'm in my meditation room. It's a row house in San Francisco, right next to him. This dog starts barking. I'm meditating. My mind goes off on this rant. Oh my God, there's that dog, and why didn't they? And he should have, like that. 15 minutes later, I'm supposed to be meditating. I bring myself back. That's one learning experience. It took me 15 minutes. Somebody less alpha trained, they might be mad for a day, a week, a month, a year, 10 years. It took me 15 minutes to have one experience. Okay, you're right. Zen guys, you're right. You do have to accumulate experience. In meditation, that took me 15 minutes. Now, if you were in a Biocybernaut Alpha training, even on day 1, you'd have 4 different head sites. The tone, bom, 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 the different tones would be adjusted in volume 50 times a second. So 4 tones, you've got your brain has 200 learning opportunities per second compared to 1 per 15 minutes. You want to know why Biocybernaut Alpha training can produce the same results in 7 days that in Zen practice takes 21 to 40 years? It's because you accumulate experience more rapidly. Plus, we have detailed coaching like the forgiveness process, deep psychodynamic things. And so Biocybernaut training produces the same brainwave changes as advanced Zen, but instead of taking 21 to 40 years, you can do it in just 7 long days. You have to accumulate experience. You can accumulate experience slowly, like in meditation, it works for some people if you stick with it, but it's slow. You can accumulate experience very rapidly in Biocybernaut training, and it works because of the feedback, because you accumulate experience.